This next young man is a very bright comedian, also one of my dearest friends in the world. Please welcome, be nice to him now, Mike Dugan. Yeah, Mike.
Wow. Thank you very much. Certainly is a pleasure to be here. I just got back from Hawaii, so I'm pretty refreshed. It's beautiful. If you get a chance, go there. Except for one thing, though. All the towns and all the street signs are in Hawaiian. So what happens after you're there for a couple of days, everything you read starts looking Hawaiian. Like you'll see a big sign that says, "Uhaul." No, that's U-Haul. I love traveling. I was in Florida when they had this trial for this Kathy Willits, this nymphomaniac prostitute. What is going... Let's take a good look at Florida together for a moment, shall we? Nymphomaniac, sex scandal, Florida. Remember Roxanne Pulitzer? Sex scandal, Florida. William Kennedy Smith? Sex scandal, Florida. Pee Wee Herman? Sex scandal, Florida. Now, if you look at Florida on a map, I'm getting so tired of these trials, especially this Jeffrey Dahmer thing, you know, all that money and time just to decide whether this guy goes to a mental hospital or a prison. I say, anytime something like this happens, just stick him in jail. If he's insane, he won't know the difference. And if he's not, he's in the right place. Mike Tyson is coming up for his sentencing, and I don't know, I've always found boxing to be a bit questionable. I'll tell you why. There's a big, tough man's masculine sport. What's the prize money called in the heavyweight championship boxing match? The purse. The two biggest, meanest men in the world fighting over a purse. A purse and a belt. I tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up in New Jersey, and I think I get my sense of humor from my father. I was 12 years old. I was reading the Bible. My father came in and said, "Hey, you know, Jesus dies in the end." Great, thanks for ruining it for me. Thanks. I went to college. I majored in philosophy. Every parent's dream come true. My father said, "Philosophy? Great. Why don't you minor in communications so you can wonder out loud?" I'm the youngest of 5 kids. If you're from a big family, you know that by the time parents get down to the youngest child, leniency has set in. They just say to hell with it. Who cares, really? What is your name again? Go do some work. I'll give you an idea. My brother's the oldest. He'd get grounded for being 10 minutes late to dinner. By the time they got around to me, it was pretty much no heroin in the living room. Michael, you're not using one of the good spoons, are you? Consequently, I grew up pretty open-minded. I had a good family. That's why I can't understand some of these people like David Duke. Now, the Republican Party says that they've repudiated David Duke. Like David Duke supporters know what repudiated means. You know, isn't anybody going to call these idiots on this crap, these white by the way, are there any white supremacists here tonight? Just by a show of webbed hands? Not the most evolved creatures complaining about others. Yeah, I got an idea. How about in order to call yourself a supremacist, you need to be able to spell it. How's that sound? You know, teeth are a major requirement for being supreme, because, I mean, you rarely see an educated racist. I mean, you never see a yuppie Klansman burning a mesquite cross. You never see that. You know, if these cheeseheads are the master race, I'd hate to see the qualifying heats. That's all I'm saying. That's another thing. If these people are so supreme, why do they wear bed linens over their heads? Oh, yeah, you're genetically pure. Is that a urine stain on your chest? I don't know. It's always the closed-minded people who are the loudest. You got these Operation Rescue people, most recently in Wichita, Kansas. I know it's a divisive issue. Everyone has their own beliefs. My belief is that life begins when you start minding your own business. They refuse to bend on any level. They don't want sex ed in the schools. They don't want condoms and some bizarre Silence of the Lambskins campaign they got going there. And then they try to blame teen sex on rock and roll music. Come on, teenagers have sex because they're horny. Case closed. You know, if you're going to blame teen sex on rock and roll, why don't we just blame incest on country and western, huh? So I was just backstage, and Bud Robinson called your makeup lady. Now he's got Jinky and Patty.
Oh, he's carrying them both. Bud Robinson, of course, is Jinky the Fruit Bat's responsible agent. And now, Dugs, what? No, I can't call you Dugs. Everybody gets on you for being too intimate. Now, Michael Dugan.
Yes, sir.
You were. What happened here? You got stomped at the Improv in Santa Monica. I think I saw it on CNN. How the hell did
My
this
parents
become...
found out about it on CNN. My mom called up the Improv and said to see if I was okay, and then she said,
Well,
it
first
must
we
have
should
been.
tell them. I don't think they know. It was like you got beat up by a guy
These
from the
guys
crowd.
wouldn't shut up in the audience. There was like 3 guys kind of entertaining a couple of girls at their table, and I told them to shut up, and they did, and then I got on them, and I said, he had long blonde hair, and I said, you are one surfer-looking, and then I swore, and...
Vince isn't still here, is he?
And I said, gee, good thing they installed that skateboard rack out front.
Oh.
And the audience applauded.
That's a chilly shot.
And I moved on. And I got outside, and I heard my car was out front, and all the valet people were there trying to get their cars. And I heard this, there he is now. And I went, I said, yeah, I better park out front. Somebody might jump him on the way out. Then my date walked out, and she was wearing a short skirt, and they said, nice date, nice legs. But, in like a male territorial prerogative, I did your father jailhouse kind of way.
Was this the first date?
Yeah.
Should have pulled up on that.
So I walked over to the guy. I go, what's going on? He said, what do you mean what's going on? I said, somebody might jump me on the way out. He said, yeah. I said, who, you? He said, yeah. And he started pushing me.
But how did it get picked up? Now, this happens.
Well, I
I've
don't know.
been in clubs. It's like the ultimate heckle. You get into it with somebody, and I remember Piscopo got punched out years ago. It was a legendary story at Catch. But how did this get on CNN? Why was I watching it at home, for God's sake? It was like Desert Storm. I'm watching it. It's my friend getting beat up outside the Improv, and it's Bernard Shaw's there. Troop movements indicate that a second wave is about to hit the young comedian. And scud hecklers are moving in from the...
Bernard Shaw was there. He was under a car. And is he out from under that desk yet? Has anybody seen him?
No, you would have been under that desk, too.
No. Well, I had no idea I was going to be fighting 3 of them at once. I mean, that's what it was. I mean, the guy hit me, and then I went at him and roundhoused him, and I was pushing his friends out of the way. I was on the ground fighting him, and one of his friends kicked me in the face, and then one of them was holding me
while... I can see. I'm kidding!
But ladies and gentlemen, I kid the new comics.
But seriously, you got to tell me. We got to wrap it up quick. Was there just somebody, a stringer there from CNN, or what was...
No, there was a record producer, and I grabbed the main guy I was fighting. I threw him head first into a Nissan and dented the Nissan's fender, built for the human face. And the car belonged to this record producer, and he called the wire services, and suddenly it was... I did interviews for Eyewitness News, HBO Entertainment News, LA Times.
Guy who beat you up's got a 3-album deal at Arista now. All right, Doogie, you're looking good. You're back in shape. You're funny. We'll be right back. Mountain!